Comedian and podcast host Andrew Schulz accused the Harris campaign of blatantly lying about his team not reaching out to them during the election on Saturday. In an interview with the New York Times The Interview podcast, Schulz described his efforts to reach out to Democrats like Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg to appear on his Flagrant podcast during the 2024 election. He claimed the Democrats not only rejected him, but accused his team of being podcast bros, who were sexist, bigoted, and racist. Schulz said he tried to set up an interview with Vice President Kamala Harris as well, but her campaign blatantly lied and said he did not reach out. It's wild to blatantly lie when not only did I reach out, Charlamagne, who's working with them, reached out, Schulz said. Mark Cuban, who's a surrogate, reached out and we reached out, and they blatantly lie. Then when people write articles about it, they'll say, Andrew says he reached out to Kamala, but we reached out to the Kamala people, and they said that never happened. So what is the reader supposed to interpret that as? He added, I think it's an indictment on me because it's almost like calling me a liar. Schulz acknowledged that he has since spoken to progressive figures like Buttigieg and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. He believed the reason was that prior to the election, Democrats felt that they didn't need to go on podcasts like his to reach voters. Schulz and his Flagrant podcast interviewed President Donald Trump during his campaign in October. He said after the interview he felt Trump went from having no chance of winning the presidency again to winning by a landslide. Also on the Times podcast, Schulz described himself as a lifelong Democrat who voted for Trump. My vote was more like I voted against a democratic institution that I feel was stripping the democratic process from its constituents. I didn't like the way things were going, and Kamala was saying, yeah, we're going to keep doing that, he said. This is Rachel Pierce, and you've been watching Alert Desk USA, where the facts come first. Stay safe, stay informed.